he isolated something called dishydroxyquinone, which is like warfarin. And these cows were eating a lot of this stuff, and they were bleeding internally. So they said, oh, we have a great solution for the rat part. Unfortunately, rats develop resistance very quickly to that compound. So here's some structures of some of those compounds that they synthesized. This is the original compound found this was actually spoiled clover that the farmer took to the university. And so the chemist, of course, went to town and they synthesized a whole bunch of derivatives, of which this is the most popular. So warfarin or coumadin is basically another version of this hydroxyquinone. They also synthesized some other compounds that had similar activity. These are known as intane diones, but they're very seldom used anymore. Only would be used if a patient did not respond to coumadin, but we now have other compounds that are thrombin inhibitors and factor 10A inhibitors, so there's no need for those anymore. Those are alternatives to coumadin. So how does the action of coumadin differ from heparin? Heparin, I told you, when we talked about carbohydrate, I told you heparin is an anticoagulant. But heparin has an immediate action. It interacts with the prothrombin and coagulation doesn't occur. On the other hand, these compounds, those warfarin derivatives, have a lag phase, and they only act in vivo. They don't act in a bottle of plasma, in a bottle of blood. So they only act in vivo. It takes about 12 to 24 hours to get an activity, and they interfere again with the hepatic synthesis of vitamin K clotting factor. And here are the main ones. Factor 2, 7, 9, and 10, and they have fancy names. So when you give these anticoagulants, inactive proteins are synthesized instead of the one that are normally produced by the liver. There is no effect on the circulating, those that are already preformed. And if a person is overdosed with an anticoagulant, you have an antidote, and that antidote is vitamin K, but it doesn't act instantaneously. So you have to make sure that that person doesn't behave like one of those Wisconsin cows and bleed internally. So that's vitamin K. And then usually people on coumadin have to be monitored. That's one of the headaches with that particular drug. They have to go with what is known as an INR, where they determine clotting process. And so they shouldn't be consuming lots of vitamin K because that'll switch things around. And one of the problems with the newer anticoagulants that have been put on the market, the thrombin inhibitors and the 10A inhibitors, is that there's no antidote. So if you overdose one of those guys with Pradaxa or some of these other drugs, vitamin K will not work. All right, the last vitamin, it's time to go. Vitamin E, right? Vitamin E, again, there are a variety of derivatives, alpha, beta, gamma, tocopherol. There are also trienols, some with double bonds. They're usually found in plants. And the basic value of vitamin E is that they have antioxidant properties. So here's the structure, again, of tocopherol, alpha tocopherol. Again, you want to remember the bicyclic ring system, which is known as chroman. Chroman, the benzene ring with a tetrahydrofuran ring system. It's known as chroman. And then they again have a long aliphatic side chain, which is an isoprenoid organ. So here is a whole bunch of other derivatives. Tocopherol, tocotrienol, they all basically vary by the type of side chain that they have. But again, remember the bicyclic ring system. It is basically an antioxidant, and like vitamin C, it prevents the formation of peroxides. So it is used basically as an antioxidant. It has a couple other uses. It has been used to treat occasionally hemolytic anemia in premature babies that do not respond to the traditional anti-anemia therapy, like iron, folic acid, B12. That's it. So do the my last lecture. Do the crossword puzzle. It almost meets the criteria for the Wall Street Journal. It's fairly complicated. I tried printing it, but it doesn't print on one sheet. But you press the dummy button, solve, and you get the answer. So good luck in your final exam and final exams, since you're going to have more than one.